Corporate media use a large supply of spin tactics to control the public. Three examples are the non-issue, political theater, and moral panic. They work together to create dramas that distract from serious events. The non-issue is mass-produced across the spectrum. An army of pundits work 24/7 making dumb guesses about the issues. One example is Rachel Maddow's narratives, wandering around useless details and dramatic twists while never saying anything about anything that matters. She's been flogging that horse for 15 years, and there's no sign that the public are tired of it. The non-issue on the right is the culture war, a sturdy formula that distracts from every corporate swindle this side of supply-side economics. For the record, social conflict is at an all-time low. The moral genius of Dr. King won the day. Gay marriage isn't going anywhere, and when Obama was elected, I danced in the streets. All in all, the public are a fair-minded bunch. But the culture war distracts from the real problem. That is the class war, 11 policies that have dominated both parties over the last 50 years. In the last administration, it was inflation, wokeism, and open borders. Now it's inflation, deregulation, and deficit tax cuts that are burying the government in debt. A new version of the scam is Trump's many trial balloons. Examples include hijacking Greenland, rebranding the Kennedy Center, tariffs on everyone and their sister, and Robert Kennedy's so-called nutrition guidelines. That was a twofer. It wastes time on nonsense and is a giveaway to the hog industry. When the non-issue has extra charm, it graduates into political theater. These are issues that can be falsified and dramatized and turned into meaningless narratives. Examples include the ICE raids, Russiagate, George Floyd coverage, the Benghazi hearings, Biden's laptop, and the Epstein files. Notice how those have been drawn out over the years. They had the complete file, and they could have released it on day one. Instead, they drop a few details every few weeks, just enough to keep the public lubricated. Currently, the operation has heated up, and the items are sleazier. But it was obvious from the word go that they'd never let anything slip that would overthrow the fondler-in-chief. The drama's most useful elements are self-righteousness, tribal hatred, and sex appeal. When they have enough juice, they transform into moral panics. Only the most gullible people fall for these. Leftists and Republicans are the usual candidates. Even then, it takes extreme measures to do the job. They're created with suppression of facts and bald-faced lies. Examples include the George Floyd riots, ICE protests, and January 6 riot. In the George Floyd arrest, the facts were replaced with a racist fiction. Stray offenses in the ICE raids played at full blast in liberal media. They were supplemented with lies that open borders is about human rights and Americans are on board with it. Actually, it's about cheap labor for corporations. But there's nothing progressives like more than sabotaging the Democratic Party. The January 6 riot was created with months of lies about a stolen election. This was without a decent counterargument from liberal media. And after years of being told that our government is evil, Republicans swallowed the fiction whole. For the record, our government has mistakes and successes. It was designed by gentlemen scholars, and the electoral process has been strengthened over many years by brilliant, civic-minded Americans. But don't let's bother with reality. Thus we have the toxic theatricals of corporate news. It's a web of trivia, diversion, and base dramas exploiting baser emotions. The program is staged by an army of media outlets working in coordination. It's designed to keep the public running in circles. These are three examples of many more spin tactics used across the media landscape. As it is, the public are puppets on the string of corporate propaganda. Fake info is wrecking society, and it's absolutely imperative for the public to understand the scams in play. Everything is covered in the Big Book of Propaganda on Amazon. Also, please like and subscribe. In a time when bandwidth is filled with trash, it's never been more important to support quality intel.